Scene on BBC Radio London with Aurie Styla.
This is The Scene.
We get the ting them out of luck no. Yeah, Aurie Styla, BBC Radio London, The Scene. That was Sham with Get Her Story. I had to play that one. I love that tune. Big shout out to my producer Kim as well, who I know selected that tune from her personal collection. Bad tune. I like it. Thank you, missus. Thank you, miss. Oh, man. Good show so far. Great show, man, so far. Personal, that's got a big shout out to you as well. Got my next guest in the building. Comedian. And what's happening there? What was that? Was that you? What kind of sound effects was that? Oh, that must have been me. I don't know. Oh, do you know what it was? I spoke and my watch spoke back to me as if I was having a conversation with my watch. Siri, mind your business. Anyhow, my next guest in the building, a comedian, brother of mine, and a DJ as well. What's going on, Paul Bradley?
Good evening, folks. How you doing? I'm well, and yourself?
I'm good, sir. I'm all good. What's going on? I like the T-shirt, man.
Thank you, man. Before we go any further, I just want to say I haven't seen Endgame and I haven't seen last night's Game of Thrones, so I heard you mention it out there. I just don't.
I won't say a word.
No spoilers, guys.
I will not get. Wait, hold on. No, wait. You haven't seen Endgame?
Not yet.
That's your fault. That is your fault. I'm sure that's like nearly out the cinema by now. That can't still be in there. I can see a queer. Big shout out to a queer, my entertainment correspondent. Is like it's too late, isn't it? That's what I thought. Big man, you should have seen that long time ago, man.
Honestly, I've lost about 650 people on Facebook and Instagram because of it, man. Just
seriously?
Avoid the spoilers.
Nah, do you know what? I know how you feel. I've been in that situation where you see someone. I had a friend of mine who's a team member of mine for comedy, right? And she wanted to put up spoilers a day after it came out because she saw it on the first day. I had to delete her.
Yeah,
I had to delete her.
The day after, that's a liberty. There's no need for that at all.
That's a liberty. I hope you're not one of them guys, you ain't seen Star Wars, but you don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh, no, I've seen Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Been on that a couple of years ago.
There's a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm a late bloomer.
You evidently. Let's go back to this T-shirt. I love the T-shirt firstly that you're wearing.
Thank you.
It says, if I'm right, it says more blacks, more dogs, more Irish, which is a play on the signs that used to be up years ago that said no blacks, no dogs, no Irish.
That's it. It's like a parody T-shirt, yeah.
Exactly. It used to segregate us, but then this one is kind of a unification of us to say, no, how about more of us around? And I like that.
That's it.
I mean, I know you yourself, you're Irish, aren't you?
That's it, yeah. I was born in a little town called Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Okay. But the accent kicked in there a bit more?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm like a split personality. So like, when I was born with this accent originally, but when I moved here, I just wanted to fit in with everyone else. And my mum was always like, "You're from Belfast, stop speaking in an English accent." But obviously, I had to develop the accent to fit in with everyone else and stop getting robbed on the way home, of course. But yeah. But my mum actually bought me this T-shirt. She actually bought it for me for Christmas. She's like, "Don't you forget, you're Irish. Don't forget that."
Big shout out to Mumsy. She has got taste with T-shirts. I like that one.
She has, yeah.
Big shout out. You got to let me know where to get that. I think you showed me on the back. I got to make sure I find where because I will wear that.
Yeah,
sure.
It's funny enough. It's run by an Irish and Jamaican guy. The people that own the T-shirts. Yeah, it's called Irish, as in EIY, Irish.
Irish. Wait, UIY.
Yeah.
I get it. I and then Rish. Okay. That's smart.
It's like a Know Your History T-shirt. Is like their sort of theme that they're running with. Yeah.
Nah, I like that, sir. I like that. So. You moved over from Northern Ireland to here?
Yeah, I moved over when I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
I grew up in Kentish Town, Camden, around them areas.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just like I've grafted from a young age. I was a plumber and sort of heating engineer. But comedy was always my thing. I always loved comedy. And I think it was one night I was at a karaoke when I was about 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I did like a Louis Armstrong impression. And believe it or not, it's really good. And the people in the audience didn't think it was actually me doing it. And it was just the buzz from that. I just fed off it, and I just fell in love with the stage and doing comedy, and yeah, DJ as well, and yeah, just really enjoying it at the moment.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
Well, how long has it been with comedy?
Comedy's been about 6 years, but it's been sort of like, I don't know, comedy's one of them things. It's not you have to dedicate your whole self to it. It's not something you can do part-time.
No, if you do part-time, you'll forever do part-time and stay open mic.
Yeah, that's it. You'll just be forever doing it. So it's sort of been like a battle, love-hate relationship, because I was saying to the guests outside, living in London ain't cheap.
No, come on.
So yeah. So like,
we know this.
What I mean? If you want to be a comedian, they say, "Oh, come to like London, the land of dreams." They say, you know what I mean? It's meant to be like the place to go, but as long as you've got the bank balance to support it.
Yeah,
100%. So like, sort of juggling a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and then doing gigs pretty much every weekday if I can, and weekends where I can get them. Is the way to go. But comedy's you got to dedicate yourself to it, man. You really have to, and yeah.
I mean, you do obviously you. It's not just comedy. You do DJing as well.
That's it, yeah, DJ as well, yeah. So I've been DJing about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
We run a little event called Open House, which we had like a residency at Ministry of Sound, Egg London.
Nice.
And then, of course, you know, Fest Camden as well, which you do comedy brunch there.
Well, we moved it to Dingwalls now.
Yeah,
same kind of company, same area, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So we do sort of nights in the summer there. And I've also got my comedy night Funny Fix, which is bi-weekly. We do it in the Birdcage, just at the back there in Fest. But yeah, it's going well as well, and just looking forward to getting more gigs in. Nice.
I like this, man. You see, one thing I've heard so far in the show is being able to put on your own stuff. Yeah. You haven't just waited for the residencies to come and say, "Hey, come in." You've actually sat there and said, "You know what? Let me put on my own show, Funny Fix. Let me create my own night, which is the DJ night. What's it called again?
Open House.
Open House.
Yeah.
It's about making sure that you provide your own platform. I think that's very important in this day and age, is for people to see that not only are you just waiting for them to say, "Here, jump on my platform." It's what is it you're doing for yourself?
Yeah. And again, what we were just saying out there, it's like if you don't ask, you don't get. You know what I mean? You have to just apply yourself and just like I used to say to other DJs that used to say to me or ask advice, or the same with comedians that like I said, I book a lot of 5-minute slots and people say advice, and I just say, just don't turn down anything, man. Just whatever comes, grab it with both hands, lap it up, play the empty rooms, play the room twos. Do you know what I mean? Play to no one. I mean, the hardest gig you're going to do is play into a room full of comedians, which is the hardest thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
I'm in a group, and one of the comedians puts on a show every week as well. I won't say who and I won't say where the show is, but often you'll find that. I remember one time I had a conversation, was bantering him a little bit. I think it was either last week or the week before. He said there was 3 people in the room and 17 comedians. That is one of the hardest rooms. I wouldn't say it's hard because it's actually quite easy to die in front of other comedians. They understand. Yeah. But you're there entertaining 3 people with other people kind of that know that it's not easy. Yeah. But then in my eyes, where's the growth in that if you're only performing to others that know that when you die, it is what it is. There's an element of you that should want to go, hey, how about we try to get more people so it's them who want to receive comedy. And it's not an easy night to do when you do that, and it's every week it looks like that. It's not easy.
But then on the flip side of that, it's got, I mean, I've seen some of the best acts I've ever seen. I mean, even from TV on the open mic circuit in London. You know, I mean, you do see some of the best acts. I mean, I've paid good money to go Apollo and here and there, but you see some of the best 5 minutes, and you might never even see that guy again. Do you know what I mean? Or you might see him on TV, but then you see some of the worst actors as well.
It's true. It's true. It's almost it's like the diamonds in the rough. You're in a room. Like a small room, it could be a room that's not even set for comedy, a little corner of a pub. And for some reason, there is always that gem that comes up. It's the guy or the girl that's gone on stage and it's all of a sudden, wow, this is... How did you do this in this environment? And you're right, sometimes it's one of the people that, they do okay, and then one time they've got this jewel of a night. And other nights, it's somebody who just pops up once and all of a sudden you have to question yourself as a comedian, like, wow, how did you, what am I doing wrong? And it's great that sometimes.
And the worst thing is as well is when you ask them, you're like, oh, how long have you been doing it? They're like, oh, it's my 7th gig. What? Get out of here, man. No, truly, it's my 7th gig. And it's like, what? How? I was not like that at 7 gigs, man. I was like crying and sweating. Like my first gig, I think it was in Camden. I think it was people outside throwing bricks at the windows and stuff. You know
Seriously?
I mean? I think like a brawl kicked out at the back, and then they kicked everyone out, and then they wouldn't leave. They had to phone the police. And I mean, that was like my
What kind of gig is this?
This is the part. Oh, I won't mention that actually. I won't say any names. I don't want to put anyone down, and it was a long time ago. But yeah, it's Camden for you, really. You know what I mean? I mean, just on the way here, I saw a suitcase with a shovel in it, just like in Camden when I was about to get on the shovel. That's Camden town for you.
Isn't it? It's nothing that's surprising.
Nothing surprising at all in Camden, though.
So, how are you with social media and comedy? Because that is a massive platform for a lot of people now in terms of putting their sketches on or stuff of that nature, as opposed to just doing live.
Well, you see, I think that's what I'm going to try and get into more, is doing little sketches and stuff like that. But I feel like social media can sort of, you're always comparing yourself, and it can almost make you put you off a bit. You know what I mean? You could be like, oh, he's doing better. You know, I think it's better just to blank out and just do your thing, man. Yeah. Do your gigs and like just promote yourself and just do that. You know what I mean? Just steam on and just take the like I was saying earlier, just take take the gigs, man. Take all the gigs you can get.
So you're definitely similar to me. You're more of a live person.
Yeah.
I say that, but I mean, I'm quite active on social media. But I try. If I'm honest, I look at myself.
Your stuff strikes on social media.
No. Wait. Let's not separate the two. As in, like, it's good and it's bad.
I saw you performing one night, and some woman tried to plug in a charger or something on stage. You know, I mean,
when was this?
This was like maybe the end of last year. But I messaged you, and I was like, the cheek of it, and you're like, can you believe it? Like, you're in the middle of doing something, and the girl was trying to plug in a charger.
Wait, I remember. Wait, this sounds familiar. I'm just trying to think when someone was trying to. This sounds really familiar. Like, I'll tell you one actually, right? This, even though this wasn't the charger, this was yesterday. No, it was today, Monday. Yeah. So yesterday, I put this in my stories, right? And I'm going to say this for those who've heard it. I'm going to say it again right here. And for my producer Kim, who probably hasn't seen this story, this is about Liberty gigs, right? I'm gonna ask you in a little bit about some fields. In fact, after the news, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna give you a Liberty gig that happened yesterday. So something that happened that shouldn't have happened. I'm on the stage, and I'm asking the audience members to clap because we're gonna bring on the first comedian. One person is not clapping. She's just sitting there. I don't want to clap for no one, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe something's happened. So I've asked her, is everything cool? You all good? She goes, yeah. I said, well, what happened to the energy? We're gonna bring comedian on. Let's clap. She goes, these are my hands. I do what I want with them. What am I clapping for? I was like, wow. So I said, you're not going to show a bit of energy for... That's what she said. Now, this, I have to be very careful with this one. This actually has a reference, right?
Yeah.
She was great girl. She was cool, apart from she was a bit cheeky. She was also a bigger girl, right? Okay. She was a bigger girl. And this has reference to the story I'm saying, right? Before I get in... My producer give me that side eye, right? I bring on the comedian, right? Which was Jay Hanley. Big shout out to him, right?
Yeah.
He goes on stage. Halfway through the set of him performing, her chair snaps.
Oh,
right?
No.
And she was on her back on the chair and so on, right? And I'm a gentleman. I would not bring it to anyone's attention, right? In my eyes, I thought, I'm not going to say nothing to anybody. But there were so many people in the audience that were not wanting to draw attention to it, but were laughing on the inside. And the reason being is because they said, and someone came up to me and said, well, if she wasn't going to clap, the chair's going to do it yourself. That's what had happened. It was like that. It was really, really bad. And people were messaging me saying that's karma.
It is karma. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Don't clap. That's what happens to you.
Listen,
Don't clap, you get snapped.
I got Paul Bradley in the studio with me. This is the scene, BBC Radio London. We are going to go to the news very, very, very shortly, right? And then after the news, we're going to get back to some more topics, some more conversations. We're going to talk to Paul for a little bit. And also, I've got another guest coming in just a bit to perform some great music. So, hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Thriving by Mary J. Blige and Nas. It's BBC Radio London. This is The Scene. My name is Aurie Styla. Loving the banter we're having off air and on air as well. Speaking of banter, I've got another banter brother of mine in here, a comedian called Paul Bradley. What's going on, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, sir. I'm all good. Now, we had a conversation earlier on about what you do, shows, etc.
Yeah.
And we have a running theme today, which I spoke to Purcell earlier on. I'm going to also ask our next guest in a little bit. The theme is good deeds.
Yeah.
Right? Now, reason being, Robert F. Smith is a gentleman from Atlanta. He's basically gone into a university or a college out there, rather, and he's paid off the student fees or student loans of 400 graduates just to say, look, boom, this is what I'm saying. You lot can go and have a great start in life without any financial debt.
Yeah.
Just pass that on. And I feel like that needs to be advertised, not even so much advertised, but spoken and highlighted, because you hear a lot of negative stuff in the news. I think it's time that we really push that, good stuff happens. And the man who's done a good deed like that definitely needs to be highlighted. But it also made me think, why not today I ask all my guests about good deeds that they may have done or someone may have done for them, or they can think of maybe a friend has done for somebody else or family member for somebody else. And let's just highlight some good deeds. Is there any that cross your mind, Paul?
Well, I mean, with the open house thing, a couple of years back, we ran like a charity night, which I think is, on the music scene especially, it's such a great platform to raise money for people that need it. And we did a night for a kid that had a cerebral palsy, and we raised £1,000 or something. And luckily, loads of other organisations helped raise money, and they helped along the way as well. But yeah, I just think the music scene, there's an event called Abode. I don't know if you heard from it. Like, they've built a school in Uganda and stuff, which is amazing. I think they've been on this, not that your show, but they've been on definitely in this building and done a thing. But yeah, man, I mean, if you can help people out, why not? Do you know what I mean? I mean, like I say, I came from Northern Ireland. My mum didn't have much when we moved here. Luckily, I got a great education living in London and growing up here, along with my two brothers. One's a mechanic, the other one's an electrician. And yeah, just grateful. So, I mean, if you can help people, why not? Do you know what I mean? It's definitely something that I think everyone should be taking more on board, especially now with all you hear mental health and people suffering and people committing suicide, which I think is a big issue that needs to be addressed, really.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Real quick, two things I'm just going to pick up on there. One, I just noticed all three of you, the brothers, have a trade.
We all have a trade, yeah.
So one's an electrician, you were a plumber, and the third?
Mechanic.
So you all have a hands-on trade.
That's it. And I've got another brother and sister, the young ones, who is he's just turned 20. He's training to be a plumber as well.
Nice.
So we've got 2 plumbers coming up the ranks. And then my little sister, who's just started school and stuff. So
okay, yeah, she does. So she doesn't. She's not trading for anything.
She's not going to be a trader.
Yet,
hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully she'll be doing something different. But yeah, we've got all the tricks of all the trades there, so we could build a house and a car for you if you need it. That's for sure.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
And also we had a heavy topic. Heavy topic last week. I don't want to say a heavy topic, but we were talking about mental health awareness week last week, and you mentioned that just now. Have you had any experience with having to either deal with or help someone deal with mental health at all?
I mean, myself, like I lost my dad at a young age. A couple of weeks after that, I lost my granddad, and I come over here, and my older brother was a victim of knife crime. So I mean, all them joined together. I mean, I've had clouds hung over my head before, but what I always find is it's like if you can help someone, clouds always pass. So if you need help, sort of get help, and if you know someone that's suffering, like help, reach out and sort of do something for them. And if you can, I just think people just need to be more aware of what's going on around them, and especially again on the music scene and around sort of drugs and stuff like that. A lot of people are sort of suffering. So I think if you can help someone, go for it.
I know we've turned the tone kind of somber. I know it's but it's a real thing, like you say. And I think with one of the jobs that we do, we're both stand-up comedians. One of the hardest things is for people to see past the laugh and the smile with some of us. Yeah. There's a phrase that someone said is who helps the person that makes everybody else happy.
I've heard that, yeah.
And it's tricky. It is very tricky, but it's something. I mean, thank you for highlighting that. And it is something that if people feel they need to talk to somebody, please do. And if you feel like it's difficult to talk because there is a narrative that you shouldn't, especially as men, that's one thing I'm definitely an advocate for, is men should be able to talk to other men and not just take the phrase toughen up or man up, which is a negative stigma, because sometimes we do need to have that conversation.
Or snowflake, which is just a phrase I don't think it's helping anyone.
It's not helping anyone at all. Yeah. That's one that gets thrown around quite a lot. So thank you for highlighting that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Paul Bradley in the building. Now we're going to get our next guest in. Paul, you're going to hang around for a little bit as well, aren't you?
Of course.
That is perfect.
I'm looking forward to hearing Vicky's song. So
she's coming in just a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul's here. This is the scene, BBC Radio London. Let's play some good music. Let's play some Gecko and French Montana.